From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, stand by for a live update.
All right, it is currently 8:15. Fred Gossett here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. We have a new tornado warning coming out for southern and eastern areas of Madison County and northeastern portions of Morgan County and North Alabama for another little heavy shower that's interacting with this boundary situation here and has spun up and possibly tried to produce a tornado very close to the Tennessee River, southeast of Triana. So this is going to be a new tornado warning for southeastern portions of Madison County and far northeast portions of Morgan County, North Alabama. This is going to go until 9 o'clock. The Armor radar does show a decent tornado vortex signature, and it has possibly also had a debris signature as well. I should mention the previous rotation we had did produce what looked like a confirmed small tornado over the Redstone Arsenal. We have seen damage pictures to some buildings there, so we know that that thing was down and producing damage. This is a similar situation. Now, the next rad data, not looking overly impressive, but again, that UAH Armor radar scans lower in the atmosphere, and it's able to see things in the lower levels a little better in this part of North Alabama. But you do see some structure here for this overall thunderstorm. You see a curl on the back side of it, and you see some supercell-like structure here. And then when you switch to the velocity, the weak rotation lines up with the backside very carefully. And then when we look at the UAH radar behind the scenes, there's a much tighter, stronger low-level circulation there, and what possibly looks like a debris signature a couple minutes ago with this. So this certainly could be another tornado that was down in far northern areas of Morgan County, just to the northwest of Lacey Spring, in very unpopulated areas. But that's why National Weather Service, especially after what happened with the first storm, playing it safe and issuing a tornado warning for far northeastern portions of Morgan County, Alabama, and southern and eastern portions of Madison County, Alabama. That's going to go until 9 o'clock. We'll do a storm track and talk about some times of arrival. I'll extend it out to 45 minutes instead of 30. Now, I can't tell you it's going to hold together the whole time, but if it does hold together for the next 45 minutes, these are times of arrival. We're talking Ditto Landing at 8:24, Redstone Park at 8:25, Lily Flag at 8:31, Owens Crossroads at 8:36, Hampton Cove at 8:38, Montesano State Park at 8:45, Ryland, Alabama at 8:50, Gurley at 8:51, Maysville at 8:53, Paint Rock at 8:53 as well. Again, this is a tornado warning for far northeastern areas of Morgan County, north of Lacey Spring, right on the Tennessee River, and then into southern and eastern areas of Madison County. This is going to be approaching Ditto Landing over the next couple minutes, Redstone Park over the next couple minutes, lifting up toward the Camelot area, the Bellevue Heights area, Lily Flag again, over to Owens Crossroads being your shelter, Berkeley, Hampton Cove again, up toward McMullen Cove, Gurley, and Moontown be inside away from windows. Now, the polygon technically is, of course, the least regret. It goes as far northwest as downtown Huntsville again, because they issue these a little wider the farther you go out in time. They give some wiggle room for some track error, because storms can turn right, storms can turn left from the mean flow. But it looks like as of now, unless things change a little bit, looks like as of now, the main circulation likely to pass to the south and east of downtown Huntsville once again. But until 9 o'clock, far northeastern portions of Morgan County, Alabama, and southern and eastern Madison County, Alabama, you now have a tornado warning. So what we need you to do, go to a small interior room, such as a bathroom, hallway, or closet, on the lowest floor of the home, near the center, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. You want to cover your head and neck, protect yourself from flying debris. So that's the situation. This is going to be crossing out of Morgan County over the next few minutes and into southern portions of Madison County, very close to the Redstone Park and Ditto Landing areas. I do want to mention we have a new severe thunderstorm warning coming out for Lincoln, Franklin, and Moore counties in southern Middle Tennessee for the potential for damaging straight line winds. We will very quickly go up and look at those storms. That warning does include northeastern portions of Lincoln County, Tennessee, but you can see the line of thunderstorms prompting that. It would be this area that would have the greatest threat of straight line winds. That is moving out of Lincoln County and away. So even though the polygon technically includes eastern and northeastern portions of Lincoln County, Tennessee, and it's a good idea to be inside away from windows. It looks like the straight line wind threat is already to your east and moving away. I'll do a brief overview here. You can see these are the only areas where we have strong to severe thunderstorms. So since that storm that prompted the severe thunderstorm warning is already moving out of our viewing area, we're going to focus primarily here on this tornado warning in southern and eastern Madison County, Alabama. Again, the polygon technically includes downtown Huntsville, but the rotation, unless it takes a left turn, it's going to stay south of there and east of there. This is going to be a problem over the next few minutes for Ditto Landing if it holds together, Redstone Park, Lily Flag, Owens Crossroads, the Hampton Cove area, once again, and then up toward Moontown and Gurley and McMullen Cove. Be inside away from windows, small interior room, lowest floor near the center, away from windows until either this passes or it weakens. So far, I have not seen any change in the reflectivity structure or any change in the velocity. Now, I cannot show you the UAH armor data. We don't have clearance to show that on air. We are able to watch it behind the scenes, and this has had a clear circulation. And what looks like a clear debris signature here as it's been crossing out of northern parts of Morgan County and towards southern parts of Madison County. So stay inside, away from windows, small interior room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. We are seeing some signs here of what may be a debris signature on the next rad data. I'll go to the higher resolution correlation coefficient, and yeah, that does look suspicious, and it lines up in that general area and with the rotation. So we are likely seeing some hints of a debris signature even from the next rad radar. The debris signature on the UAH radar has been more clear, so there likely still is a tornado down with this. And keep in mind, there was a tornado down with the first storm earlier when we had the tornado warning over southern Madison County earlier. We did not get the pictures until a few minutes later, but there was tornado damage from a small tornado on the Redstone Arsenal property from the first storm. So with that in mind and seeing the signatures that we have, it's very likely that we've had a tornado doing damage here in far northern areas of Morgan County. It may have been over wooded population because it wasn't over wooded terrain because it wasn't really truly near populated areas. It's been close, but now it is starting to move near populated areas. So be inside away from windows, small interior room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. Protect your head and neck from flying debris, out of vehicles and out of mobile homes. Circulation over the next several minutes is going to be approaching Highway 231, very close to the Redstone Park and Ditto Landing areas. Bailey Cove Road from Camelot down to near Ditto Landing. The Shawty Road area, Old Big Cove Road. Again, these larger roads we're calling out. The Woodridge area, Fox Run, Camelot, the Forest Park area, Chimney Springs. You need to be inside away from windows, small room, lowest floor. This has had a history of having a debris signature on radar, and it looks like the circulation over the next minute or two will be crossing across Redstone Park and Ditto Landing and lifting up toward the Fox Run and Camelot areas, Bellevue Heights, the English Village area, southern portions of Lily Flag, up toward the Doubletree area, Hampton Cove, Berkeley, Owens Crossroads, you're close enough to the circulation that you need to be in shelter. And down the line, you have to think about places like McMullen Cove again and the Gurley area again. I know you've had one storm of circulation go by. You had a tornado warning. Now you have another one that has had a history of a debris signature here. We haven't had any immediate reports of damage just yet, but this has been over a less populated area than the first one. And it took a little longer for us to get confirmation from the first one. So that tells me that it may be several minutes before we get actual ground truth damage reports from this one as well. So just because we don't have confirmation yet, we don't have eyes on it, we don't have damage reports, doesn't mean that you just ignore this. You need to be in your tornado shelters until this storm passes. Again, this is the only storm of concern that we have, the severe thunderstorm warning up in southern middle Tennessee. That includes northeastern portions of Lincoln County, Tennessee. That storm, the part of the storm that had the damaging wind signature, that as the warning was issued, it was already moving out of Lincoln County into Moore County and off to your east and moving away. So Lincoln County, you have some heavy rain and some thunder on the east side of the county. The damaging wind has moved east of you now, and that's mainly a concern for Moore and Franklin counties in Tennessee, including Winchester up to Lynchburg. That's outside of our viewing area, and that's why we're not focusing on that. Our main focus is this tornado warning in the southern areas of Madison County, where we have had a tight circulation on the UAH Armor radar. We have had a potential debris signature on the UAH radar and other nearby low-level radars. That tells us that we have had, at least at some point, something down. So we want to treat this like we know it's there. We have a history of storms like this one producing tornado damage this evening. On the Redstone Arsenal, we had some structural damage to some outbuildings that looked like on the Arsenal from the first storm, and this one has had a similar signature on the low-level data on the Armor radar. So we need you to take this seriously. Again, tornado warning, far northeastern areas of Morgan County, southern and eastern areas of Madison County. That's going to go until 9 o'clock unless the circulation weakens and they can cancel it early. That has not happened as of yet. The tornado warning polygon technically goes up to downtown Huntsville, but unless something drastically happens with a left turn, this will stay off to the south of downtown Huntsville and be a problem for the southern part of the county. Looking at the Armor data, we still have a low-level rotation there. It's not quite as tight as it once was several minutes ago, but we do still have a low-level rotation there. I will say that it looks like this is our storm here. Your updraft base and your low-level rotation is right here near Ditto Landing and Redstone Park. These thunderstorms south of it may be interrupting that circulation at this time. That doesn't mean that there's not something there causing damage or that it might not tighten back up and cause damage again. But for right now, it looks like the circulation is a little interrupted over the Redstone Park and Ditto Landing areas, but we still need you inside away from windows. Small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows, out of vehicles and mobile homes. Cover your head and neck from flying debris. Be inside somewhere sturdy away from windows until this passes. Again, this has had a history of having a debris signature on radar, but the rotation, even on the low-level data from Armor, has broadened. And we've lost the debris signature for now, but that doesn't mean that it won't tighten back up. So we'll have to watch it carefully. National Weather Service is still continuing tornado warning for southern and eastern portions of Madison County and far northeastern areas of Morgan County until 9 o'clock. It is about to be out of Morgan County over the next few minutes, however. So give me a couple more minutes, and for this storm, I can clear Morgan County, Alabama. And for the vast majority of Morgan County, this isn't an issue anyway. And it looks like that with the latest scan, the rotation has crossed the Tennessee River and is over into Madison County. So for this circulation, I can clear you in Morgan County. You can come out of your tornado shelters near Lacey Spring and near the Tennessee River. It's just to the north of you over in the southern Madison County now. The rotation is over Ditto Landing in Redstone Park and moving to the northeast at about 25 miles an hour. So we'll do a storm track here. And we'll put in some of the smaller communities as well for times of arrival. All right, Grissom High School, 836. Lily Flag, 836. Bailey Cove Estates, 838. Keep in mind, it's over Redstone Park and Ditto Landing right now. Hampton Cove, 841. Berkeley, 845. Doug Hill, 847. McMullen Cove, 850. Moontown, 852. Gurley, 855. Brownsboro, 855. Maysville, 858. And Paint Rock over in the western Jackson County, if it were to hold together, at time of arrival of 858. Again, circulation over the Redstone Park area and near Ditto Landing. It has previously had a history of a debris signature on radar. But as of the latest scans from the low-level armor data, it doesn't look quite as tight as it once was. And we're not seeing clear signs of a debris signature at this time. But it does not mean that it cannot tighten up. And after what happened with the first storm, it's best to treat this, be on the safe side, and keep the warning in place until we know this is wound down. Now, this could wind down over the next few minutes and not try to tighten back up, because I do think it is being interrupted by storms just to the south of it, which would certainly be good news. And look and see if they have rotation. I don't see any clear signs of rotation with the storms just to the south of it. So they're not trying to grab the baton and run off and be the tornado threat. So the storms back closer to Lacey Spring may try to cut off this rotating cell. We'll see how that goes. I don't want to really lock down on that, because there's a possibility that may not happen. So in the southeastern areas of Madison County, continue to be in your shelters until we get the warning off of here or until the storm moves out. If you're watching us in northwest Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee, I will hit the large radar view. It's not even raining for places like Lawrenceburg, Waynesboro, Savannah, to Pulaski, Hohenwald, Columbia, Mount Pleasant, Lewisburg, the Shoals, Russellville, Red Bay, Moulton, Decatur, Athens. All this is east of you, and it's not moving in your direction. We should mention that there's a new tornado warning in Tennessee, in northern parts of Franklin County, Tennessee, that's north of Winchester. We're not going to focus on that because that's not in the viewing area, but just a heads up that they've done that there. That is north of Winchester. They've issued a new tornado warning. Our focus is going to be this tornado warning over southern Madison County, Alabama, for the circulation near the Redstone Park and the Ditto Landing areas. It's moving toward generally the Camelot area, Fox Run, up to Hampton Cove, Berkeley, Owens Crossroads, over the next 10 to 15 minutes if it holds together. Now, if it continues to weaken, it may drift a little to the west or to the left. So Bellevue Heights, Doubletree, Bailey Cove Estates, Lily Flag, up to the Ryland Acres and Hayden areas, stay in shelter. And technically, the tornado warning goes as far northwest as downtown Huntsville, although I think it's going to stay south of you, and I think you're okay in those specific areas of downtown Huntsville. Northeast Morgan County, this has moved on out and it's moving away. You can come out of your shelters. See if I can get a new armor scan. See no immediate changes in structure on the next red radar, but it does look like it is, well, we have a new scan and it continues to look interrupted here. We have a broad weak circulation over Redstone Park, lifting up toward Fox Run and Camelot over the next few minutes. But I can tell you that the structure does definitely look a lot more interrupted than it did when it was back on the Tennessee River. Still not seeing any new reports of damage from the National Weather Service, but keep in mind, with that first storm earlier, we didn't have immediate reports of damage, even though it occurred on the Redstone Arsenal. But you kind of get people go home during the early evening, right around 5 o'clock, and there may not have been too many people at the time that were available to immediately snap a picture, and that's why it took several minutes before we got confirmation of that damage from the first storm that came through earlier. So that gives us reason to believe that you still want to take the storm seriously until we know that the low-level rotation has weakened enough that it's not going to come back. I don't think we're to that point just yet. Let's see. Low-level rotation is very, very broad with the storm now, so unless it tightens back up, I think tornado threat may have significantly lessened here with the storm. And I think what has happened is it's gotten interrupted by the storms that are just to the south of it. It can't get that inflow of warm, moist, unstable air into it. So it's and then the storm structure is dying as well. So what's likely happened is we had the thing spin up in northern areas of Morgan County, potentially produce a small tornado, and then as new storms just south of it have gotten closer, I think it's interrupted that storm and it's in the process of probably dying out. I don't want to say that for sure yet. I don't want to sound it all clear. We have the tornado warning over southern Madison County still in place, but we do see encouraging signs, not just on the NEXRAD data, but the low-level UAH armor radar data as well, looking a lot broader now. And we still haven't had any confirmations of damage with this thing so far. But considering where it had the debris signature in Morgan County, we may not get any because it mainly looked like, except for maybe one or two building areas near the Tennessee River, it may have mainly been over wooded areas. Not sure of that, but it may be harder to get confirmed damage from this one in northern Morgan County than it was from the Redstone Arsenal circulation earlier. So we'll see how that goes. Again, until we know this thing isn't going to try to come back here in southeastern areas of Madison County, stay inside away from windows. Small room, lowest floor, near the center away from windows. What's left of this circulation is up here on the northeast side of Redstone Park, very close to the Camelot and Fox Run areas. So unless it turns more left, and I think it's kind of staying on its track, this is headed up generally toward places like Hampton Cove and Berkeley. This may be on the south side of Hampton Cove. This time, you have places like Mohawk Road, you have Old Big Cove Road, and then crossing Highway 431 just to the south of Hampton Cove here over the next several minutes, and then possibly being near the Cherry Tree community in near Berkeley, if it's able to hold together. But honestly, it's losing its structure. We're losing it on the radar data, which is certainly good news. They said that they are going to watch it for one or two more scans. And then if it doesn't tighten back up, they're going to replace the tornado warning with a severe thunderstorm warning. Morgan County has been officially removed from the tornado warning. I think they kept Morgan County a few minutes longer to make sure the storms to the south weren't going to try to rotate. We haven't seen signs of that, but Morgan County, Alabama, you're officially cleared from the tornado warning. National Weather Service is going to hold the tornado warning for Madison County, Alabama, southern parts of Madison County, for a scan or two longer to see if the rotation tries to come back. And if not, they're going to replace the tornado warning with a severe thunderstorm warning, which I think is certainly the right thing to do. But even with just a severe thunderstorm warning, you want to stay inside away from windows in case there are gusty straight line winds with the dying circulation. Because like we talked about when we were live with the previous circulation, the ground is saturated from all this rain we've had the past since forever. So tree root systems are weakened. The ground is weakened, the integrity of it. It's really pliable and malleable. So that if you get a 40, 45 mile per hour wind gust that's not even up to severe thunderstorm warning criteria, that can knock a tree down. And that tree might end up falling on your home. So that's why you want to stay inside away from windows, because even a storm that's not to severe levels that's producing a 40 mile per hour wind gust can cause problems with all the rain we've had recently. So even if we get in a situation here in the next few minutes where we might lose this tornado warning, it's still in your best interest to stay inside away from windows until we get these gusty thunderstorms out of here, just in case they do try to knock down a tree or two. We continue to see pictures and video of wall clouds and low-level cloud structure with the first storm that came through. Still haven't officially seen anything from the current storm as of yet. But the low-level data from Armor is much better looking in terms of if you don't want a tornado there, it's trended in the right direction. And I think what's happened is the storm that was coming up to the south of the one that prompted the warning interrupted it. So yeah, they're going to go ahead and cancel the tornado warning for Madison County because the rotation is falling apart. Not sure if they're going to do a severe thunderstorm warning because they haven't pulled the trigger on that. There may be a replacement severe thunderstorm warning, but they have officially canceled the tornado warning in Madison County. All right, they're going to go with a special weather statement instead. They're not even going to issue a severe thunderstorm warning with this. So heavy rain, gusty winds, maybe a 40, 45 mile per hour wind gust with this, that can knock down a stray tree or two. So be aware of that. But tornado warning for Madison County has officially been canceled. There's no longer a tornado warning there. So with that said, we're going to end this live update. We'll continue to watch things behind the scenes. We're not going to leave the studio until we know that this is done for the evening. So if something else happens, we'll be here with live coverage as necessary. Fred Gossett here at the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. Stay with Tennessee Valley Weather. We'll keep you advised.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.